Welcome everybody to the A Little Less Fear podcast. I'm your host for the show, Dr. Lino Martinez. Oh yeah. Welcome everybody to the Little Less Fear podcast. Welcome everybody to a Little Less Fear podcast. I am really super duper happy and excited to invite Andrew Taylor onto my show. This is all for the special of Pride Month, Pride 2021. What's up, Pride LGBTQIA in the house. And we also have Andrew Taylor in the house. So Andrew, thank you so much for being on my show. I know it's not easy to come out. But people that I've spoken to, it's always a challenge coming out in general. I mean, I don't know how it is for you, how it was for you, but before I ask you any questions, how do you identify?
Thank you for having me. I identify as a gay male.
A gay male that occasionally dresses as Selena impersonator, which by the way, it looks beautiful and impeccable. Please check out his IG at @El_Cantante_Andres Andres, and his Twitter is Andrew Taylor 08. He has pictures and he looks incredible as Selena. But yes, thank you. Okay, so you identify as gay. When did you first come out?
I came out to my best friend in high school over the summer before senior year, which was like 2008. And from then I told just a few select friends that I had trusted and kind of helped, get me comfortable with being openly gay. And then toward the middle of senior year in high school, which was about 2009, I officially told like my family and took it from there.
So when you first told your friends, how did they react?
So all of my friends reacted the same, and telling my very best friend that I told first, her name's Anna, it was the same. Like, they were so happy for me because they all told me like they had known and that they were actually kind of waiting for me to come out. Wow. I was surprised by the response. Yeah, they were like,
they're like, hello.
Yeah, really. And they were and it wasn't about like having to make a statement. It was just being so comfortable and happy within myself. And I love that. And that's honestly the feedback I got, even from like the straightiffs of guy friends that were football players or things like that in high school. They're all like, we're so cool. We respect you for being comfortable and open with yourself and being honest. And that's I feel so privileged. And I think of that often with hearing other coming out stories or reflecting on my own life, just how not only embraced I was, but also like appreciated and respected for it.
Wow, that's really wonderful to have that experience as a teen, because yeah, like you said, not that many people have that good experience. And what about when you told your family? Who was your first family member you told?
So it happened to be my parents, who were divorced already, but them together at the time, because I was planning to wait till like college, I remember, just because I didn't know just what to expect. I was close to my family. I just didn't know with the religious upbringing or especially like my mom, how close we were, just the time she was raised in and the very Catholic religious upbringing she had. So I was just not sure. What happened was I got caught up in a web of lies because I was trying to work on dating and just finding myself through relationships and just romances with guys. And it accidentally happened to where it slipped out. So I had to meet like my dad. He called me and picked me up, and we after school and we sat together.
Well, what do you mean slipped out? What slipped out?
Well, like I was lying about where I was and got caught. Like, okay, I'm not.
Oh, okay, because you weren't being truthful with them. You had to lie.
Yeah, and I felt bad because we all tell our white lies, especially as teenagers doing this and that. But,
yeah, it's fear. We're protecting ourselves.
Right, and hiding a big part of myself kind of still hurt, and I wasn't ready at the same time as wanting to be open with my family. I didn't feel like it was time, but I ended up getting caught with, I wasn't where I said I was, and I kind of was in a jam where, okay, there's no way around it. I just need to say I'm on a date with a guy, and
You told your dad that?
no, I had told my mom because
Oh, your
I had
mom.
told her I was with my cousins. Yeah, I told her I was with my cousin. She found out I was not with my cousin, and she saw me getting dropped off by a guy, and was all about who is that? Who is that? And I kept saying it's my friend. It's my friend. It's my friend's older brother. And then I finally texted her the next day after frustration at school, and I said, you know what, Mom, that was my boyfriend. And it wasn't my boyfriend. We were barely dating, even just hanging out. But I was just so frustrated. And I think it was meant to be that way, you know? So my dad picked me up after school. We went to my mom's and sat the three of us. And I had told them, you know, I've been knowing this for a while. I knew when I was 14 is kind of when I did a self-realization. And, you know, it wasn't a horrible, you know, I didn't get kicked out. I didn't go through a lot of struggles that I've heard in the community from, you know, friends or other people. And I'm grateful for that. It was a bumpy road a bit. You know, my mom was more concerned about kind of like my safety or how other people were going to take me. She was more worried. Though her approach was strong, I get it now, especially older and, you know, with some more, I guess, wisdom. You know, I'm not a crazy teenager anymore, but you know, her concern lied more in how would people receive me and how would it compromise or kind of maybe ruin just my chance at successes or you know, and it all came from, you know, the upbringing that she grew up in. Again, all from a side of love, but you know, we did have our challenges because I took some of the things in that conversation as a bit more personal, and I wasn't able to really understand what the, you know, what was being said. So I
Andrew, what was it like for you when you have your mom and dad in front of you and it's the three of you and you're telling them? I mean, what did that feel like? Like when you were telling me, I almost had an onset of anxiety just imagining being in that situation. Like, here it comes, you know? Did you have that feeling, or was it just like, F it, I'm just gonna say it and that's it?
No, definitely. It was very intimidating because I remember when I texted her saying, Mom, that was my boyfriend I was hanging out with. It was out of anger and just frustration. Yeah. And after I sent that text, I kind of looked at it like, oh my God, what did I just do? I wasn't ready. And sitting in that conversation, it's not like I was scared in a really big or bad way, but it was like that nervousness of what's going to happen, what's going to be said to me. Like, are they going to say they knew like my friends did, or are they going to kind of be surprised? You know, all these mixed just questions and worries and insecurities. And a lot of that came from what I projected on myself in my journey of realizing who I was. So it was definitely nerve-wracking for sure. I remember just feeling like it's almost like I could feel the nervousness that I had like around me. Like I just felt
like an aura of nervousness, huh?
Yeah. And you know, it was definitely just this feeling of, wow, I could feel every single breath I'm taking right now. I can feel every word I'm saying in that conversation with them. It was very, very just almost like when you look at a clock and you see the little hand, the second hand just ticking.
Yeah,
it's like,
totally.
it's like kind of feeling like you're waiting, but you don't know what for what. So that even made it
what
more
about
scary.
your dad?
He actually, you know, he got emotional and he said he would always love me. He actually cried, and it was so weird to me, you know, and I just remember him saying that, you know, he will always love me, but he would need time. And, you know, he was born in Mexico. He was raised, you know, a very, very traditional Mexican family. So, you know, hearing that, especially, you know, at my age, I'm almost graduating high school. I took that very to heart in a, you know, like a personal way, like, oh, what do you mean you need time?
Yeah, right.
So I naturally stayed away, you know, not knowing that it didn't mean it was me personally. It was just that kind of lifestyle, or just getting to know or understand, you know, what exactly that meant for me. And, you know, maybe, you know, because my grandparents and a lot of his side of the family were raised in Mexico. So it's that very different, not only upbringing, but culture, you know, across the borders.
And what about your grandparents? How did they react?
Oh, I'll never forget. It was kind of like my safe haven and blessing for me. My grandmother, rest in peace. I remember I had to go to their house, and it was almost like from that point I had to go and, talk to certain people. Because word travels fast, especially in Mexican families. They get all the chisme.
Yeah, they sure. They know how to gossip, huh?
They're on the phone right after calling.
Right after. Oh yeah.
But I tell you, the next family party is like everyone knew, and it's like the focus wasn't even probably the kid whose birthday it was. It was all like, oh.
Did you know? Yes, sabes.
Yeah, right. So my grandmother, who was raised, and she was very involved in the Catholic Church. She was what they call a Guadalupana, which is like kind of a member of the church that did things for the church. I remember her saying that, I'm always her grandson, and she would always love me. And that knowing or kind of even accepting that lifestyle was just separate from her religion, but I was always her grandson and things would never change. And that's what my grandpa said too, as long as you stay respectful and, you're always family. It doesn't change anything. Just don't change the respect and the person that you are, and that was totally just, I guess a very
refreshing,
and for me, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think. Like when you're relief, a big breath of relief. I didn't even think about coming out to my parents, let alone my grandparents or anyone else in the family. So it definitely calmed me a lot, and just knowing, I think I kind of projected it for the future, like everything's going to be okay no matter what happens right now, and how we get through this little coming out moment. It really gave me hope that everything's going to be okay, and I really don't have anything to worry about.
And how many years ago was that?
Oh God, I'm going to be 30. I was like 17. So what, 13? About 13, 14 years ago.
13, 14 years ago. So if you could take a time machine and go to little Andres when he was 17, what kind of advice would you give him in regards to coming out?
I would oh my God. You got me emotional right now with that question. I don't know. I love it. I would definitely say have no fear. And I would, I don't want to say do it the right way, because there's no real right way coming out, but just be more like calm. I think, I'm a very type of person that my emotions control a lot of my actions. And especially if I'm hurt or angry, I'll act on impulse. So I would definitely advise myself not to just, be mad at mom and say, hey, that was my boyfriend. But do it more like, hey, let's go have coffee, or let's go for a walk, and kind of, do it in a more of a planned, like, hey, let's have a conversation and address it in more of a family meeting, maybe like, like family meeting kind of a thing.
Yeah,
not just you and here I am, I'm gay.
So now being you said you're 30 years old?
Oh, I will be, not yet.
You're 29. So you're 29. What kind of advice would you give people that are in the closet right now at any age? Because there's people in the closet in their teens, in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Like people that are scared to come out. What kind of advice could you give them now, being an experienced gay man? You've done it. You put your feet are wet. You know what the lifestyle's like. What kind of words of wisdom could you give people?
I would definitely say, first and foremost, you're never, ever alone. Find someone you can trust and talk to, whether it's a good friend, a good family member, even like there's so much support and so many resources out there, gay and lesbian centers. One person that you can trust to really, really, maybe find yourself and find that level of comfort first, and don't be scared. There's no pressure in coming out. I think, especially nowadays, just everything, thank God, a lot of acceptance and calling for more acceptance and tolerance in every aspect, whether it's what color you are, what you like, anything at all. I mean, and I'm really glad for this kind of movement that's going on. But just find someone you can trust and talk to, and don't don't ever feel like you have to do something you don't have to, if that makes sense. You know, if you don't feel like it's the time, or you don't feel like, you know, if it's nobody's business, especially too, don't, you know, do it when you're ready and in your time. And surround yourself in the meantime, while you come out, before you come out, after you come out, always surround yourself with people that are going to love and support you and build you up no matter what.
That's awesome. That's really great advice. Thank you. And what kind of advice can you give somebody that's not sure if they're gay or not?
That's an interesting question. You know, just find yourself, whatever that means. You know, there's no time limit. There's no right or wrong. There's no like, you have to be this, you have to be that, you have to do it by a certain time. You know, feel free to live your life, and as long as you're not hurting anybody, you know, if you're questioning too, you know, there are people to talk to, whether it doesn't even have to be a gay lesbian support system. It could be, you know, I believe that everyone in their life have questions in different areas of their lives, and you could always talk to someone you trust, a best friend, even if they're straight, you know, someone you're comfortable with. You can always find yourself, and don't ever be afraid to be true to yourself. Mm-hmm. I think when it comes to yourself, your feelings, your heart and your mind, no one knows you better than yourself. And you don't have to feel that something about you is wrong or not okay because of what you were taught or how you were raised. Don't ever hold or hide yourself because you're worried or scared of how others might receive or judge you. Because at the end of the day, those who are going to love and accept you will do that wholeheartedly no matter what. And you shouldn't have to be worried about, you know, oh, I need someone's permission. I need to make sure this person's going to be okay with it. At the end of the day, if somebody loves you, they're going to be okay as long as you're happy.
Totally agree with that, 100%.
Thanks. By the way, I love your shirt. That purple is just so...
Oh, it's like a deep, deep, dark purple.
It's the color of royalty, and honey, oh my God, I love it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So tell our audience about how you got involved with being an impersonator for Selena, or a Selena impersonator. How did that start?
Yes. So I grew up doing musical theater, and I have some film experience. So I grew up performing since I was 8 years old, and I love it. I remember seeing the movie, you know, the escape, creating another world that you and your audience can escape in and just have a good time, whether it's a happy song or a dramatic scene, whatever it is. You create something with however many props. It's like you're taken to another world, and it's so awesome to, you know, I've been in plays where we're set in the 60s or in the 20s even, and you know, I wasn't there. You know, I don't think anybody from the 20s
yeah, they have to be 100 years old now, right?
Can travel and bring things to life, and it's so awesome. I love playing dress up, and I love telling a story, and I love, you know, it's not about the audience applauding, it's about hearing them react and engage and just being taken away with you. It's so cool. I don't know, I love that, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. I know exactly what that feels like. It feels amazing. What about Selena? Tell us about Selena. Selenas.
Yes, Selenas. When it came out, of course, I had been a fan before she passed, and I remember seeing the movie and seeing her just on stage and fulfilling her dreams, and knowing at like 6 or 7 years old, wow, one day I want to be able to sing and have fun with a crowd of people. Like, and for me, it never was about being the show. It was about just having a good time and rocking out. And you know, I was singing at a restaurant, I remember, after high school, and they saw that I would cover Selena songs, like at karaoke, and they said, hey, you know, you sing her songs, you love Selena, like, you would be great, why don't you do it? And in Spanish, they said, show de mujer, which is, you know, a female show, like, and I'm like, what do you mean? I do show, like, I'm an actor, but I've never, what do you mean? And they said, you know, why don't you could do a really good Selena show, like, you dress up like her. And I thought, well, I don't even know how I would, you know, do my makeup or get an outfit going and transform into a woman. I don't even think I would look like a woman. alone Selena. So they sent me to this restaurant in Wilmington, and they had drag shows on the weekends. So the guy I met was a drag queen for many years, and they said, hey, well, perform a couple of her songs just as you are. And they liked what they saw, and they said, we'll help you do your makeup. We have an outfit you can borrow. We can show you how to do your padding. Basically, we'll teach you how to become Selena and just perform for us. And you can come perform and see how it goes. From there, I remember the first night, it was so surreal looking at myself in the purple outfit and the black hair. And you know what? Great. Thankfully, it was received well. The people the customers of the restaurant loved it. And from there, I continued with that restaurant in Wilmington, Colmado, on Camino de Guanajuato in Wilmington. And he let me perform, and little by little, I would pick up the makeup tricks, where do I go pick up fabric for this outfit, or how can I work on making this outfit, or I learned little tricks. I still need help. I still, I nowadays I still, hire people to do my makeup because I'm bad at that. But it just, continued on, and when people have tributes or events for her birthday, or when her anniversary, I've been privileged that there are different clubs and events that ask me to perform, and it's great. It's a side thing. I love all aspects of performing. I never thought I would do this type of performing, but it's awesome. And at the end of the day, I'm still a Selena fan, so it's really cool to connect and meet people who love her just as much or even more as I do.
So what does it feel like to actually be in that outfit and looking like her and looking as beautiful as you do? What does that feel like to you?
Thank you. It's so crazy because it's honestly, for me, aside from other performances I've done, like when I am dressed up in Selena and in the makeup and everything, it's almost like an out-of-body experience sometimes. Like, I can't believe when I look in the mirror for like, whoa, this is me. But it feels, it's like a different type of performing, and the experience is so different because when the music, her voice, I lip sync. When I do her show, I do lip sync to her voice. I don't sing myself. So hearing her voice, hearing the band, the music play from the concerts, and and then with the outfits, it's cool. I see why, like the purple outfit with the bell bottoms, they are so fun to dance in, and I like twisting them and making them. But girl, I get why you. It's so cool. And then sometimes I wonder, like, wow, I wonder if if something happened with the outfit, or something like, oh, I wonder if this is what she experienced, or how she felt. Like, I kind of try to be like, I kind of like play pretend, or play like, wow, like, this is really cool. It's fun to get out of myself for a little bit, and I almost feel like I sometimes connect with her in a weird way. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh.
I was just gonna ask you that. I was gonna ask you, do you ever feel like you channel her?
I don't know about channeling her. I do know that, I have been a method actor for many years, so I really get in character. I mean, when I'm getting ready, I'm playing not only her music, but I'll play interviews. Like, I'll listen to her, like YouTube. I'll just YouTube Selena and do interview. I'll hear her voice laughing.
Yeah.
Kind of a poker, but definitely like moving my mouth, singing along to her words with her voice, especially at the volume that is on like the DJ speakers.
Yeah.
You feel it. Even just as a fan, hearing her music, her voice just touches your soul.
Oh yeah,
and
I love her voice.
I definitely feel, that awesome energy, and I'm really grateful that that I can do that, especially with fans. I feel like I connect. If I don't channel her, I definitely I connect with the fans, because they're singing along just as I am, and it's a really great time.
So what's it like when the fans come up to you and stuff? I mean, I really hope our viewers check you out, because you look like her and you look amazing. And it's like, do you feel like your fans feel like it's almost Selena for reals? Like, do you get that feeling from them?
Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I'm grateful.
Do they give
for that.
you all the hugs and everything?
After I'll perform, I do take pictures. I'll want to dance. I'll even dance with them. I try my best to emulate her because since it is a Selena tribute show, I do my best to make sure all the moves, everything is her. I don't want it to be my voice. I don't want it to be like, oh, my adaptation. I want all the moves to be as her. And I try my best to, no one will ever replace Selena, but for me, I try my very best as a performer, as an actor, to capture what she had on and to give them that show. So in that moment, I hope that, while we all know it's not Selena, that I can create something that honors her and gives a type of experience that as if she was here.
That's really awesome, really generous, and really respectful of you to do that. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And do you have any interest in impersonating anybody else?
I've been asked that quite a lot in the years that I do Selena, and I don't, only for the reason that I think Selena came very naturally for me because I grew up watching videos and dancing like her in the mirror growing up, and being such a fan of her words. So, like a lot of the songs I've already memorized from a young age, where it wasn't a lot of a big change in having to learn a new character or a new performance. I'm trying to focus a lot of my energy too on my own artistry. Personally, for me, I wouldn't, just because it's a lot of work, and it gave me a big respect for drag queens and other impersonators, even when you go to Vegas, because it's a lot of energy and a lot of time.
Exhausting.
It's not only creating a character that isn't you, but it's paying homage to someone, whether they're alive or not. Like I've seen Britney Spears impersonators share, and it's a lot of work to really emulate someone very well. And it's about the outfit and the makeup, it's the whole persona.
Right.
And aside from doing Selena, I do perform as myself, and I do want to hopefully do my own music, continue on now that the pandemic's kind of ending, get back into the auditions and the musicals and stuff. I've considered doing like Christina Aguilera or Jenny Rivera because I like them a lot.
Yeah.
But it's just so, it's not exhausting in a bad way. It's just so much energy that, and also I'm such a perfectionist where I'm like, I need to make sure everything's to the T, from the point to the smile to how the hair falls, so
wow.
As stressful and as much work as Selena is, I don't think I could see myself doing another or two other people. As much as I would love to, I don't think I would do that.
Hey, have you ever been on a date dressed like Selena?
Oh my God, no, I haven't. And that's so funny. I have been asked, believe it or not.
I believe it.
Yeah, and it's so funny because a lot of times people don't know that I am not a woman. And, I don't only perform in lesbian facilities, I performed at just private events or restaurants that are not quote unquote a gay establishment. And, I've always been respectful in saying, I'm so sorry, I'm not a woman. If they want to share a dance or something, that's great. I wouldn't do a date just because of the fact that I identify as a gay male, and I wouldn't want someone to fall in love with a facade, because at the end of the day, it's a performance, it's an act for me.
Wow, what a professional. That's amazing.
I could with that response.
Super duper professional. That's great.
I have to say, I love the glam. Oh, it's so fun.
Well, I have yet to see you perform, and I'm really looking forward to. So I really hope you can let me know when you do, and then I'll post it on my social media. And hopefully, now that the pandemic is hopefully coming to an end, then maybe more doors will open up, huh?
Thank you. Yes, and I have to lose all this, COVID weight that I'm sure a lot of us have.
Oh yeah, everyone's got that pandemic extra.
Bustiers won't fit right now. I got to give myself a few months.
Well, thanks so much, Andrew, for being on my show. This has been really amazing. It's been great getting to know you. Thanks for being honest, raw, real. And yeah, you can find him on his Instagram at El Cantante. That's ELCANTANTE_ANDRES Andres. His Twitter is Andrew Taylor 08. Thank you so much for being on my show. I really, really appreciate it. I wish you countless blessings.
Thank you so much, Lino. Same to you. Bye, everyone.